In this KT, I'll provide you a demo on how you can set up a monitoring environment for your Nifi with help of Prometheus and Grafana. I'll also be touching on certain touch points such as site-to-site reporting, which is a very important feature provided by Nifi for monitoring bulletins and other reporting metrics reporting. And also I'll be touching on email alerting, how you can configure email alerting at Nifi. Okay, so let's just start with the initial setup. I've already downloaded the relevant services which will need to complete the demo. So as you can see, this is Nifi and this is Prometheus. So let's just get started. I've opened my terminal. Let's just move to monitoring. As you can see, we have Nifi here, and if I go inside, the structure of Nifi looks like we have a bin folder which contains the sh files for starting the Nifi, conf folder which contains the configuration properties file, and also if you want a demo on Nifi, you can simply click on the link which is reflected in this video. We'll start in HTTP mode, so we'll have to alter some configuration properties. We'll just open the nifi.properties. Basically, this is the file where it contains all information related to where the flow files, where the content etc. will be stored, and also HTTPS detail etc. So we'll just move to HTTPS, and here we'll just remove. I don't want to basically deal with the TLS configuration and something like that. So I will be starting the server in HTTP mode. By default, it comes with HTTPS. So I have to remove certain things to port. I'll be starting this on port 8080, and just follow these steps if you have to start in HTTP mode. And also I'll have to remove the key store properties as well, key store and trust store. Okay, so I'm removing that. Okay, that is done. Let's just save this, and we'll further start this. So to start, we have to simply use this command. There are other commands such as which will be reflected. These are the commands available. So this is basically when you are starting in HTTPS mode, you can use this to set up a new credential. A generated username and password is generated, which you can change by using this, and there are certain other properties as well. We'll just start this, and yeah, JDK should be installed beforehand. Make sure you do that, and let's just check the logs. Okay, as you can see, initially it will take some time. Meanwhile, let's just start Prometheus as well. You can okay, I'm moving to the folder. Okay, Prometheus. Now to start Prometheus, simply run this. Okay, so I'll have to, basically it's not trusted, so Mac will stop. I'm using Mac, so I'll have to go to system preferences and try to update this. Just go to security and privacy and allow anyway. Okay, so next time when you'll try to start this, it will not create a problem for you. Okay, so it started. So for Grafana, basically I've installed using Brew. You can download it by following this link. I'll provide this in the video itself, and here you can see there is this. By using curl command, you can download just start.gz and then further unzip it and start it like that, or you can use homebrew. For homebrew, this is how you have to install Brew, install Grafana, and once you install, you can list all the services which is being installed by Brew by using this command, Brew services list. Okay, so as you can see, I have Cassandra, Grafana, and RabbitMQ for this demo. Grafana is of relevance to us. So let's just start it by starting. If to start any service, you simply have to do start Grafana. And once again, if you try to list, you will see a green symbol. If you list the services, you will see ki Grafana has started. Okay, so this is how. And we'll check out whether, as you can see, our Nifi is also started at this port. Okay, so when you are basically started, that's how generated username. You can search this and started login by using this username and password. You have to update it. Then I've already shared how you can do that. For now, let's just open Nifi. So this is Nifi, and okay, it will redirect you original URL, which is this automatically, or you can simply reload it. The Prometheus URL is this. By default it starts at 9090 port, and Grafana URL is this. By default it starts at 300 port. So we have is completed. What we can do is we can simply configure a data flow in Nifi, for which we can check metrics. We will create a simple flow. We will just use two processes, generate file and log attribute. So this generate file will automatically generate files for you. I'll show you the just put a customer text, say AAA test. Okay, and just apply, and I'll just create a log attribute. Just add to that, and I'll just simply add the relationship, and I'll just terminate. Okay, so since you can see there's a red symbol, that does mean there is no configuration error, and or two processes can be started, and as you can see, one was out and one was in this here. So this flow is configured. Let's just stop it for now. And now we have to basically configure a Prometheus reporting task for Nifi. So if and for all the reporting tasks basically can be opened from here, from the controller setting, and in reporting tasks you can well go ahead and add any reporting tasks. Currently 15 are available, and for this demo we will be using Prometheus reporting task. Now it will basically transfer all the JVM and other metrics to an endpoint. Let's just add it. Okay, so we have added it, and there are you can basically configure any properties. As you can see, the metrics will be localhost on will be available at 9092 port at localhost. Okay, so you can basically decide whether you have to give JVM metrics to this URL as well. If you want to do that, just select the true option here and just apply. Also, there are some authentication and other mechanism. Well, currently we are not using any TLS or HTTPS related things, so we are skipped it for now, and let's just start it. Okay, so when you start, what you can do is just duplicate this and localhost 9092, that was port, right? And you can see the metric is available. Now in Prometheus, you can check out the metrics which is currently available here. So these are the metrics available, and suppose you are selecting this and you have to plot a graph. Just execute, a graph will be plotted. So this UI is okay enough, but Grafana provides other utility as well. That's the reason we will be using Grafana for our creation of dashboards. It is very advanced, and it gives you an more flexibility on how you can make a full-fledged dashboard for any person who is monitoring that entire application. Okay, so currently you can see Prometheus related metrics is there, and targets on which from which it is scraping matrix can be seen here. As of currently, only the Prometheus that existing, basically the Prometheus server itself those metrics are being captured and scrapped, and we have to add a Nifi metric which is being flown here in 9092 port. Okay, so to do that, what you have to do is you simply have to go to Prometheus server, and there is Prometheus yml.file. Okay, so just go ahead and edit that. Okay, so here there are scrape config is available. What you can do is you can simply copy, so this entire thing copy and just insert. And I'm updating the job name as Nifi. Let's just update the target port as 9092. Okay, done. Let's just save this and restart our server again. Okay, and we'll open this target URL again. Okay, so you can see our Nifi, and it, as you can see, since your Nifi is up, that's the reason we are getting has state has up. Now if I shut down Nifi, let's just stop this. And now when you will reload this server, you'll get Nifi is down, because considering your server is up or Prometheus reporting task has been stopped. Okay, so now just let's start it again. Sorry. Okay, so let's just wait for a Nifi to up. Once it's up, you will be able to see your Nifi up and running. Let's just open the logs as well. Okay, it's starting. Okay, meanwhile, once it started, we basically connect. Now we have in this step we have connected Nifi to Prometheus. Now we have to connect Grafana to Prometheus, so that whatever metrics which is available at Prometheus, we can basically import at Grafana. Okay, so this is what we'll do in the upcoming step. Now Nifi is up, so let's just reload this page again. As you can see, Nifi is up, and we'll check out the metrics also, whether it's running or not. Yeah, metrics is currently being flown. Now check out the knife. To check out the Nifi metric, just go at graph tab and just click. So as you can see, earlier this was not coming. Here now, since we have connected, Nifi attributes are coming. So everything related to Nifi with a starting keyword as Nifi is coming from Nifi. Okay, so let's just if we start this and execute, and we can plot graph also, and okay, so to show you 7 bytes data is being transferred, right? So now if I basically go to Prometheus and check that out, Okay, as you can see, when I check 95 amounts of byte transferred, this metric I can see around 7 bytes of data being transferred, and this is what is shown here also. Ki 7 bytes of data has been transferred up till now. So that's how you can basically keep track of ki what is the amount of data being transferred, and if it is transferring more than, or if there is any fluctuation, basically you can configure an alerting, and that's how you can monitor. Now, since we have connected Nifi to Prometheus, we will move on to connecting Prometheus to Grafana. Okay, so this is not a demo on Grafana or Prometheus either. So I'll be just walking you through the basics. Just move on to connections tab, and several data sources which are readily available on Grafana will be shown. Just type Prometheus here and add that. It is pretty simple. Just add the data source, and you know the URL is localhost 1990, right? Prometheus is at 1990. So just copy that and paste it here. Okay. Once that is done, say let's just update it Prometheus Nifi, so that we are clear. Okay, this is okay. It's done. Let's just explore. Okay. Now what we can do is we can simply I can simply select job, and I can select the job as Nifi. Now all the metrics related to Nifi will be shown. So suppose I'm earlier we used amount of bytes transferred, right? Just open that and just run query. I will be able to see a graph. Okay. Okay. So that's how all the metrics, you can basically check out other metrics as well. So suppose you want a JVM metrics. Since we did on our JVM to send JVM metrics, we did switch it on, so we will be able to get the JVM metrics as well. As you can see, the graph is being plotted. Okay, and you can check the table also, ki G1 old generation JVM JSON run, what is the value, and G1 young generation, what is the value. Since it is not being used, it is used. Okay. Now moving on to so basically what we will do is we will create a dashboard, and we will take help of already configured dashboard. So if you go ahead, there are certain dashboards which are available readily at Grafana, and you can simply search that out and import rather than creating your creating a dashboard would require time. So basically, as of now, you saw only one chart being created. Now if you want to see the entire stack of monitoring, you want to check the number of amounts of byte transfer, you want to check whether what is the processor's average running time of your Nifi, all that thing you have to monitor in a single dashboard, and you'll have to create these charts by using different metrics and calculations and everything. Do your own calculations and define your own, like what you have to plot a bar or points, etc. So for this demo, what we'll do is we'll just import a dashboard, so that and give you. For that, we'll just go ahead and search Nifi, and as you can see, the first one is this Nifi Prometheus reporting task. We'll just open it, and this is the URL. This is the ID of this. Just copy this. Just go ahead and you can import a dashboard by going here and just click on new. Sorry. Just click on import, and you have created Nifi, and just select the database. This is our Prometheus Nifi. So basically, as you can see, that's how you can import any dashboard which is present at grafana.com. I have imported it. Just import it. And now when you check, you can check the JVM metrics. So as you can see, the uptime of your Nifi has been 7.2 minutes. That's what the uptime is. What's the heap usage? So you can have certain alerting on ki, okay, if my heap usage is greater than a particular number of bytes, I want an alerting, so so suppose if your memory has only you have only 50 GB available or something like that, so you can configure an alerting basis of that. Thread count, and this is the processor key, what is the average linear duration. So that does mean ki what is the average time taken for whatever the processes which is currently running, what are number of threads, what is the flow, what is the transferred flow file duration. So if there an abruptly stop in the flow file, that does mean there's some problem in one of the processes. You can configure some alerting here as well. And bytes also, okay, what is the byte being transferred. As you can see, what is the byte transferred currently, if you can check out, 42 bytes are currently success. We have not, our log attribute is not working, so that's the reason no bytes would be transferred from here. But here, from here to here, 49 bytes have been transferred, and you can check that out in the graph itself. As you can see, around 30, you can check out process generate flow file has 35 bytes written, but our log attribute currently have not written any bytes. So you can configure some alerting on that also, okay, if your processor has stopped running. Code provides most of the things which you would require to monitor your Nifi cluster. But suppose you have to add something else to it as well, you have to use dashboard, you have to add certain charts as well, simply by clicking, you can do that by simply by clicking on this add button. Just click on visualization and select your database, whichever it is, and then further move on to selecting the label. So job is one label, just select Nifi here. You can add certain others. So suppose most of the filters which are currently available at during the first phase of it, such as component ID also, you can copy the component ID from here. Say you have to just copy this ID and go ahead and copy the value, okay. And metrics, you can say a Nifi amounts of byte transferred, say, okay. Just run this and you can see what is happening for this, okay. And you can simply apply, and one more chart is being added. You can further delete and add depending on what you want required. You want to add like a change the label or design it in a different way, you can simply edit and do something else with it. Say you have to change the label, you can just go ahead and override something you wanna override, or change something onto it. You can change the graph to say bar chart, you can do this, or a gauge, you can do this. So whatever you want to, just experiment with this and create anything that suits to the dashboard which suits all your requirement by using the metrics. So these metrics which currently are available are fixed, you cannot go ahead, you cannot change that or add something to it. So basically these are the metrics also. You want to if you are using Prometheus reporting task, these are the metrics that is being outsourced, you can use these metrics. If you want some extra metrics that is not available at this reporting task, you'll have to either override it or create your own, okay. So whatever there is here, that is can be used. It is more than enough most probably for simple use cases, but at times depending on our requirement we might need more metrics. So that's the reason we'll cover or another reporting task, that is site to site reporting task. So site to site reporting task is available here. We successfully configured a Prometheus reporting task and we were able to see a dashboard which would contain different metrics. Now we will move on to site to site reporting task. So site to site reporting task is a processor provided by Nifi. What it does basically is it will transmit the metrics, whether it be bulletins or provenance or status or any other metrics from one Nifi server to another Nifi server. So you can basically set up a server dedicated to your data flow and another server dedicated to monitoring this particular cluster of Nifi. So just let's just configure one. Since we have a single host machine, so what we'll do is we'll just run a Nifi, a duplicate Nifi on a different port. Let's just configure that. And input port name is basically will enable your Nifi, the current Nifi clusters which is running at 8080 to send the bulletins to a port. Say let's just say data port. So this this input port name is unique across Nifi, and it will understand, okay, for this particular bulletins I have to send those bulletins to data port input. Okay, let's just apply it and start. Okay, so before starting it, we'll just validate also. We forgot to do that. So when we'll validate the properties, you can check out that this particular Nifi is not up and running, the monitor Nifi. So to do that, let's just start doing that. So this is my Nifi. Let's just extract a fresh one. Okay, so we have one knife. I just rename it to let's monitor. So this is done. Now what we'll do is we'll just configure Nifi properties and start the server. So our Nifi is up and running at HTTP and port is 8082. Just configure that, and socket port for remote input, let's just change this to 8084, say. And we'll remove that key store properties also. Okay, so this is done. We'll save it. Let's just start Nifi. And our logs will be present here. Okay. Monitoring Nifi service up at 8082. Let's just validate again. Okay, so as you can see now that HTTP connection error is resolved. Now it's saying that there is no port name data port in the remote Nifi instance. So what we'll do is we'll just open this 8082/Nifi, and we'll create an input port with this particular name, that is data port. So this is the name of port, right? Data port. So this is our monitor server. Let's just add an input port. This is the name of input port. Let's just add the processor, say log attribute, and just add these two. Okay, and in the relationship just terminate this one so that our configurations are valid. Now start this. Okay, now when I basically go ahead and check again, validate again, this error will also be resolved. As you can see, it's all up and running. Now we can start the site-to-site bulletin reporting task again. This is done, and to get the results quickly, what we'll do is we'll configure one more reporting task, say monitor disk usage. and we will tell it if it is greater than 1%. Simply generate the bulletin, select the directory location. This, not this, what this will do is it will generate bulletins faster for us, so that as you can see a bulletin is being generated. Let's go ahead and check in our Nifi flow. After 30 seconds, which is a default refresh time of Nifi UI, you can check out ki there's one bulletin being queued here. You can check that out also by using list queue. Just view this in the content viewer and you will be able to check let's just view this by online JSON viewer. This formatted, as you can see, whatever bulletin was there, it is being sent in the from one Nifi cluster to another. So this was our main Nifi which had generated bulletin, and if we check out the bulletin pool, there was one bulletin generated. Once this bulletin was generated, it was being sent to this monitor which was running monitor Nifi, which was running at 8082 port, and it was queued. Okay, now we'll move on to sending this. Suppose you want to send this in a mail, you can use a put email processor. Currently it's logging. What I'll do is I'll just stop it and I'll remove this. I'll empty this queue. Let's just delete this and connect these two. So for SMTP, what you can do is you can use an app password from Gmail. Just generate an app password for whatever Gmail ID you want to configure here, and you can use for Gmail you can use smtp.gmail.com, and port has 567. I'll configure the app password for this one. Figured say smtp.gmail.com as a hostname, 587 as smtp port, and your email id, smtp username, and password, app password, whatever it is configured. You have to just enable your smtp start tls as well for smtp@gmail.com, and this is the subject which you want to be configured in case you get a mail from the mail from Nifi. And you can basically tell key whatever the flow file content is, send me has a body. You can enable this at true. Once you have configured, you can attach file, and you can do several other configure several other parameter as well. If you have configured these parameters, you'll get a mail somewhat like this. Okay, this was your bulletin, and if there are multiple bulletins, then array of bulletins will be shown here. Like here, there are two bulletins. One is starting with object ID this, and the first one is this. So that's how you'll get alerting. You can basically you can also split this, and maybe depending on whatever the, so suppose your bulletin level is 1, then you have to send another subject, say, so as to differentiate, or maybe to a different recipient. What you can do is just split this message JSON array by using Joel transform JSON and split JSON, which you can also check out the demo of Nifi, which I have also created. That's how. So we have done in this demo, in this KT, what we have covered is Nifi monitoring integration with Prometheus and Grafana, a brief demo on site-to-site remoting and how you can configure email alerting at Nifi. And also you can configure this email alerting at bootstrap.xml level as well, which is present in the conf directory of Nifi. That is also something you can do. So that's it for this, Katie. If I saved you some time, just please subscribe. Thank you.